What's up, farming family? How y'all doing today? Today, we're going to be checking out Bird's Falcon Elite. Yeah, this is definitely a weird shaped paddle. I saw where Pickleball Studio and Pickleball Will on a podcast were talking about what this reminds them of. It reminds me of literally a kid's sand scoop. You'd go out to the to the playground, out to the sandbox, and you'd be scooping up the sand. You might not know what I'm talking about, but that's what it reminds me of, or it's a cutting board. Oh, man, but y'all going to hear me talk about this. My brother's not going to be on this one. He didn't see a point in echoing my opinion. He just told me to basically be like ditto at the end of it. So whatever I say for me goes for him. But let's get into this. Let's just talk about the power of his paddle first. It literally swings and hits like a Generation 1 raw carbon fiber paddle in terms of power. My problem with it was when I went to deliver a lot of power, I felt like it was hard to grip the paddle exactly the way I wanted. Like if I wanted to do a flick, you can't really rotate the paddle in your hand. You have to basically twist your wrist. There's like a lot of wrist action with this paddle. You wouldn't think there would be, but there is more than what you would think, especially since it's an ergonomic paddle. But overall, it's basically a raw carbon fiber Gen 1 paddle in terms of power. It's just like a Generation 1 raw carbon fiber paddle when it comes to it being soft. The problem with the control is when people put you out wide, in order for you to get it back across to the middle, you have to turn the paddle really weird or your wrist weird. So your wrist will really start to get wore down, especially after a few games. Mine did and my brother's did. So even though the control's there in terms of the paddle, the shape of the paddle sort of renders the control partly useless because if you have to be extended wide with your backhand, it's going to be very awkward for you. Very. You're going to have a better chance just putting it right back in front of you and hoping they don't ernie you. In terms of spin, this puts together pretty good spin. I don't think it's anything like the Gen 2, thermoformed raw carbon fiber paddles by any means, but it puts good spin. It puts better spin than Proton and the old Engage Pursuits for sure, and better than the Engage Poaches. I don't know why I haven't mentioned them before. But yeah, the spin's there, so if you can hit the ball properly and hold it properly, you'll get spin. In terms of durability, it seems to be one piece, but if you take the handle and twist it even just a little bit, you can hear the materials giving inside of it, which this is definitely going to be a weak point. And I just realized there's stuff coming out of the side of mine on both sides. I hope I get a video of this up close to show you guys. But yeah, it's on both sides. I just noticed that. Okay, when I could actually get get a forehand flick in or, just a straight, punch volley with this paddle, it felt good. But then whenever you got jammed up, or you had to try to block or do anything, you had to twist your wrist super weird. And it just affected the overall mobility of the paddle. I played several games with it, and let's just say I did not enjoy 1 minute of it. In terms of price, I honestly don't think you're going to be buying this paddle to play with it. I see this as more of a novelty thing. It's I'm going to buy it, and I have this weird-looking paddle I can goof around with, at rec games, or I can keep at the house, and it looks goofy, because there probably won't be any more companies making these, to be honest. So I feel like it's overpriced if you're buying it to play with. But yeah, this has been mine and my brother's review. Like I said, he basically dittoed everything I said in this review. Let me know what you think of the paddle if you use this paddle. I've seen people at tournaments use it and they swear by it. I've heard them swear by it, if they have tennis elbow and they said it went away. So if you have tennis elbow and you can't even play pickleball because of it, and this makes it go away, dude, by all means, play with the paddle. I'm not saying don't play with it or anything like that. If it helps your tennis elbow and it keeps you on the courts and exercising, play with the paddle. But when it comes to normal players, I would stick to regular, shaped pickleball paddles like their other paddle they have or other companies' paddles, to be honest. But until next time, stay safe. Have a good day. Drink plenty of water. Peace, y'all.